Welcome to davidfouad.com. I'm your knowledgeable Winnipeg realtor, and I'm going to talk to you about what a deposit and a down payment are. When you purchase a property, there's a timeline that we follow as buyers. So at the beginning, we shop for properties. It could be a number of showings we go through. It could be a short period of time or a long period of time. It just depends on your situation. Once we narrow down to a place, you as the buyer would say, let's make the purchase happen. So I would prepare an offer to purchase, and in that document it outlines all your terms and conditions, the important dates, the purchase price, all that stuff goes in there. Now when we purchase a property, there's money, and of that money there's different parts. So on one side we have the borrowing money, so usually a mortgage, which is a big loan, and the other side we have your down payment, or what we'd call your equity. Of that down payment, you would allocate a portion of a deposit. So looking at the timeline, we've gone through the shopping and we've reached this point, which is the day of purchase. That's the day we write the offer. And then as we move along, we get close to the day of possession. So there's not a lot that happens in between once we write the offer. After that, it's a lot of waiting and preparing, and then there's a key step you have to do before possession. So what I would ask you for when you write the offer is, can you provide me with a deposit check? And as I explained before, the deposit is the portion allocated from your down payment. It could be all of your down payment, it could be a little bit of your down payment. There's no legislation that says that you're required to provide a deposit, but the majority of buyers do. And the reason why we provide a deposit is it mitigates the risk of the seller of you not following through with the purchase, meaning moving from the day of purchase all along to the day of possession. It's mitigating that period of risk where you might not proceed with getting to this step. And that could be for various reasons. It's a personal thing. So in order to mitigate that risk, you provide that deposit. The amount all depends on how much you want to secure the seller to feeling confident about you as the buyer. Sometimes it makes sense to provide your full amount of your down payment. Sometimes it makes sense to provide a portion of it. I would advise you at that time as to the level of risk you should be taking. So when we're looking at the timeline, so let's go back to here. So you have money put away for your down payment. You then would have to provide a little bit or a lot, depending on, again, what we talked about, as your deposit. That check goes through within a day of purchase. So that portion here has been provided to the seller, and it goes in trust to your lawyer, and the lawyer holds it up until we get to this point, which is just before the day of possession. So way back here, you've all aligned the important things like your moving people and your friends who are involved in maybe helping you with moving, etc., changing utilities over to you and your in this new property. And now we're at just before the day of possession. The lawyer will then ask you, okay, buyer, I received your deposit. Now the difference is your down payment. Can you please provide that to me? And you would take that money from your investments, etc., wherever it's from, and give it to the lawyer. So now the lawyer has those two parts of your down payment, the deposit and your down payment, and then the bank will give the lawyer the borrowed money in the form of a mortgage, and all that together equals the total purchase price of your property. I hope you found this advice helpful, and I'm glad I was able to provide you with fantastic Fouad for thought. Thanks for joining me today.